As we now know, Prince pretty much lived in the studio and created a ton of music in his lifetime. So, early in his career, he had to find new outlets in order to get all this music out. And the way he did that was by creating bands and groups that he would essentially just go in the studio and record like he normally would for himself. He would play all the instruments, write the song, produce the song, do all the background vocals, but then his lead vocal would be used as a guide track, so the lead singer of the group or the band, or sometimes even the solo artists themselves, could just take that track, sing exactly like he did, and this would create the song for them. His most successful outlet was the band The Time, but in late 1984, The Time started to fall apart. Their lead singer Morris Day had left the group to start his own solo career and to continue his new acting career off the success of Purple Rain. With this new vacancy for a lead singer, the lead guitarist Jesse Johnson assumed that he would get that position, but Prince had other plans. Instead, he took the keyboardist Paul Peterson, who Prince renamed St. Paul, and made him the lead singer of the group. Jesse Johnson was obviously not cool with this, and he broke out and started his own solo career. So now we're left with, as lead singer and keyboardist, St. Paul, Jelly Bean Johnson, and Jerome Benton. Prince went ahead and added in Eric Leeds on saxophone, and then on co-lead and background vocals added Susannah Melvoin, who was actually Wendy Melvoin from the Revolution's twin sister. He went ahead and renamed this new group The Family. The creation of their debut album was done very similar to the way the Times records were done. Prince was the primary writer and producer, with the exception of the song River Runs Dry, which was actually written by the Revolution's drummer Bobby Z, and Eric Leeds had 2 co-writing credits on the 2 instrumentals on the album. All the songs were originally recorded by Prince with Eric Leeds on sax. Just like the Times records, Prince's guide vocals were removed and replaced with St. Paul and Susannah's vocals. The Family's self-titled debut album was released August 15th, 1985. This is actually the first non-Prince album to be released on Prince's label, Paisley Park Records. There was little to no promotion done for this project, as Prince had moved his focus onto his new film, Under the Cherry Moon, which was being filmed in France, and not only was Prince starring in it, but he was also directing it. The song The Screams of Passion and the song High Fashion were both released as singles, with The Screams of Passion getting its own music video. Lack of sales was also contributed to the fact that the group broke up only months after the release. St. Paul was first to leave the group, as he was not seeing eye to eye creatively with Prince. That led Jelly Bean Johnson to go join his OG members of the time, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, with their production company Flight Time. Jerome Benton went over to France to join Prince on the film Under the Cherry Moon, where he had been bumped up to co-star. And of course, Eric Leeds stayed in the Prince camp for years to come as Prince's main saxophonist. And then there's Susannah. And there's a long-standing rumor that this group was created strictly for Prince to keep Susannah close to him, as that they were engaged at this time. So when she left the group, she not only left the group, but she also broke off her engagement with Prince and had left him. Although the album itself was unsuccessful, this is the first album that we see a large contribution from Prince's orchestra conductor, Claire Fisher. The material on this album also gave us our first glimpse at the funk jazz fusion that Prince would later create with Eric Leeds for the group Madhouse. This is on full display with the 2 instrumental tracks, Yes and Susannah's Pajamas. As I mentioned before, this album includes the singles Screams of Passion and High Fashion. The River Runs Dry and Desire are some pretty cool ballads. But then there's the song Mutiny. Mutiny is that song that you would hear Prince play live all the time. Even later on in his career, he would continue to play this song, and you were always like, What Prince album did that come off of? Was it on a soundtrack? Was it a single only? No, it was a song on this album, and it was a song by The Family. And of course, the biggest song that comes off this album is the song Nothing Compares to You. This is another song that Prince did at like every show, but the song became a worldwide phenomenon when Sinead O'Connor covered it in 1990. Prince's version of the song was recorded in 1984, and it remained in the vault until 2019 when it was released on the compilation The Originals. Prior to that, the only official recording that was officially released with Prince doing the song was when he did it with Rosie Gaines, and it was included on the Hits collection. After leaving the Prince camp completely, St. Paul went on to have a very successful solo career, and still releases new music to this very day. St. Paul got the family back together in 2010 to do some live shows and to go record new music. The problem being Prince owned the name The Family, so they decided to put music out under F Deluxe, short for Family Deluxe. They released Gaslight in 2011, Relit in 2012, and the album AM Static in 2014. Thank you all for joining me on the channel. Please like and share this video as much as possible, and as always, please subscribe to the channel. And again, the new addition, I do have a Patreon account. Link for that is below. So until the next episode, I wish you heaven.